And in our second segment, we're focusing on the youth. And so I've asked my daughter Marisa to handle the second part of the program. She's doing an interview with CJ Perez, a young man who is very talented, and he's into music. He is producing music, he's on the keyboards, he's doing just about everything. Let's join Marisa Elcock now as she does a very interesting interview with CJ Perez about his personality and what his life is all about. Stay with us.
Hey, hello once again, and welcome to this very special edition of the Fresh Fire program. My name is Marisa Elcock, and I'm hosting this youth edition. On this program, we'll be looking at a personality profile, a young person that is really making waves in the gospel music world. His name is Mr. CJ Perez. He is the son of Cyril Perez. You may not know much about Mr. Perez, but behind all the local music that you're hearing, a lot of it is the man himself, Mr. Perez, and even behind that man is his son, CJ. We're going to be chatting with CJ, and he's going to be telling me a bit about what he does, who he is, and how he has really made his contribution and his mark in the local gospel world. Hi, CJ. How are you?
Hi, Marisa. I'm fine.
Okay. Tell our lovely audience or listeners something about yourself.
Okay. First of all, my name is CJ Perez, and I started playing keyboard when I was about 4 years old. I'm a musician. And my dad, he apparently saw the musical charisma that I had when I was young. So he bought a keyboard for me, and I started playing and stuff. And then he started to train me, you know, playing chords and forming chords and all that. And as I got older, he decided that, okay, seeing that he's an arranger and he arranges music for people and stuff, a lot of music, he said, well, it's time that you start doing the same. I said, well, okay, that's a kind of big responsibility. I said, no problem, and he started to train me again about arranging music and how to go about doing it and how to combine my style with his style and come up with something new and different. And pretty much, you know, that is what I've been doing since I was small until now, recording and dealing with artists and stuff.
Okay, it's all total local music?
Totally local.
So is this a case of a father saying, well, this is what I want you to do, or was there something special about you that you were really gifted on the keyboard, or how come he singled you out? Because you're not the only child, right?
No,
you have brothers and sisters. How come you were singled out for this music ministry?
Well, when I was younger, I always seemed to like, you know, being behind the keyboard because I used to look at him whilst he playing, and you know, I was fascinated by that. And he said, this guy looking like he's showing a little more musical, energetic something more than the rest of kids. So, you know, he said, well, all right. So that is when he bought the keyboard, and you see, well, I started to excel a lot in it. More than, you know, my brother and sisters. They have other areas that they like. So that is how he was able to determine, well, okay, you look like you like the music more than everybody else.
Okay.
So that is how, you know, that came about.
Just briefly, let our viewers know some of the people, some of the names that you are associated with, that you have had a hand in producing their music.
Okay, well, people like Jerry Hawaii, Tini Lewis, Quintessence, the group, Stephen John, Karen Garcia, Mulasami, Gregory Lee, you know, all these people. Who else? It's a lot of names.
Right.
Kind of long, very long, long list. Karen Garcia, Mulasami, you know, Rohan Ramkisoon. A lot of people that we deal with, and the thing is, it's a joy, you know, I could say it's a joy dealing with all these different people who have different singing styles, and that you could always create something new when you deal with different people and have different styles and stuff, because, you know, it's a real nice thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you've heard all these names, and I know you know a lot of them, so we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to hear more about the man behind the music. Stay tuned. Okay, well, CJ, as we said, this is Mr. CJ Perez, and he is the, oh gosh, cook, bottle washer, everything behind a lot of the local gospel music that is produced at CCR Studios. Yes. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about CCR Studios, who they are, and what exactly you all do, because I know you all are associated with a lot of different things.
Okay, well, at CCR Studios, we first of all record artists to put them on the radio and to put them on CD, as well as the other side of it is that my dad, he himself has a special ministry where he tried to get a lot of the people saved and stuff when they come in. You know, we may have some artists coming in to do one type of thing, and which is not what we are about. But my dad, you know, he have this thing about him. He tends to get people to change and turn around their lives. So that is like another part of the ministry that we are involved in at CCR. So, you know, it's more or less recording music, everything, and, you know, ministry-wise, saving, getting soul saved and saved and stuff like that. You know.
There's evangelism and ministry mixed together.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm sure a lot of people have come and gone and all that kind of a thing. What would you say, or what comment would you give on the local talent in Trinidad and Tobago? Because the music industry is booming, okay? Everybody's into gospel music right now, and not just the secular contemporary, but the local gospel music. It has taken an upswing, even in terms of the quality and all of that. What would you say about that? Have you seen a drastic change over the years?
Yes, definitely. I mean, compared to 10 years ago, and the music has it has gone from one stage to the next stage. I mean, I have seen a dramatic change with reference to the style, to the quality, to the people involved, young and old. And it's a good thing because a lot of younger people are getting involved into the musical industry now more than before. So I'm all for that. I'm all for that, and I think that's a good thing.
Where do you see the local music industry going as a whole?
Well, I see the local music ministry going more international, a lot more international than they are now, because gospel especially seems to be more accepted on the international scene. You know, in these foreign countries, this is the thing that they seem to be calling for a lot more. So, I mean, the local music has a far place to go, and it's going places, you know, in this time.
Now, I want you to itemize again, what exactly is your role in the whole music industry? What exactly do? You record what?
I play the music, record it, and I record the artists who comes in to sing. I record them. When we're done with that, I put them on CD, record them on a CD. I do the labeling for the CD, everything, and then pretty much send it out there. You know, so it's more or less quite a number of things there. Engineering, the sound mixing, everything, I do all that.
I hear that you build computers for hobby, is it?
Yes.
Your dad said that?
Yes, I do build computers for hobby. That's another one, a part of my, repertoire of things that I do.
Excuse the eye. Okay, well, we are going to take another break, and we're going to come right back. We want to take in some of the local artists that CJ has helped to bring to the forefront. So take a look at this, and we'll be right back with you. Well, we're back, and I was telling you about some of the things that Mr. Perez does, and he actually put this entire CD together. He put together the cover, the words, everything. He also put the CD itself together. I mean, a CD with a beautiful front like this, it is really, really inexpensive, I would say. And it has all the local gospel artists: Karen Garcia, Quintessence, Tennille Lewis, Gregory Lee, Ryan Charles, Cupid, you name it, we've got it. There's so many new faces that are coming on the scenes, and who knows who might be the next Spear Sisters or the next Jerry Hawaii. You know, there's so much talent that is yet to be showcased. Yes. CJ, as someone who's in the industry, what do you think can be done to help promote and to make profitable? Because for a lot of artists, this is their life, this is their livelihood. What would you recommend as new ways that we can promote our gospel artists and make gospel music more profitable for them?
Well, what I can say is I can suggest to the pastors of churches that they could look at their congregation and seek out the talent that they have in their church, because in the churches today there's a lot of talent, right, especially in Trinidad. And, I have seen that a lot of people who are in the church, you know, have great singing ability, have great skills for playing music, and they don't really, they don't really follow it up, or they're not really encouraged enough to do it. So what I can suggest is that some of the pastors could probably look at the members of their church and look for the promising people who, showing a lot of potential in what, in what they're doing and what they like to do in the musical scene, like singing and playing music and stuff, and pick them out. And make albums with them, sponsor their album, send them out there, and stuff like that. I think that that could be a help to the local music.
I've also observed that, well, even in your case, your dad was a real major factor in your launching out into mission, that he was there, he saw from young your talent with the keyboard, and he invested in that. He bought you a keyboard, he went further and he got you different instruments. So he was kind of pushing you, and maybe, parents, you need to look at your children. Everybody's not academically inclined. Some people like to cook, they like to deal with hair, they like to build things, mechanics or whatnot. Look at your child and see where your child's strength is and encourage them along those lines. We can't all be doctors and lawyers and A students and all of that, but we can all excel in our God-given talents and abilities. And there are a lot of people in Trinidad who could really sing. You know what I mean? I mean, Trinidad is just full with talent. And sometimes you just need a little encouragement, apart from singing in the church and stuff like that. See what doors you could open for them. Don't be afraid to promote your family, your relatives. Don't be afraid to speak of them and recommend them in concerts and that type of a thing. Have a concert with your family, have a concert at church, and highlight all the local talent in your church. And also, there was something I was going to say, and I couldn't forget what it was. But there's just so much room for us to grow and move on,
Definitely.
What would you like to say in closing? Well, I tried to remember what I was going to say.
Okay. Well, what I can say is that young people or anybody who wants to follow their dreams, put God in your life first. And because I did, and at a young age, I was able to accomplish a lot, quite a whole lot. So that, once you have God in your life and everything, you can, truly stand, in whatever you have to do or whatever you want to do or would like to do.
All right. Are these CDs available in like all bookstores and?
No. At present, these CDs are promotional, but very soon they will be available in stores, in Trinidad, nationwide.
Okay. All right. I remember what I was going to say. Could you please buy your cassettes and buy your CDs? Don't take it off the radio. That's called pilfering. Don't tape it off the cassette. Don't borrow someone's and dub it. This is their livelihood, and a lot of money goes into making CDs and making cassettes, and the money is just wasted when you dub other people's music and dub it off the radio. So you may be able to do that, but think about the artists and think about the fact that if you stop buying their music, they may not have any more to produce for you. So do sow a seed. It will go a long way and you will be blessed. Okay, we have been here discussing music, which is very topical, and we will probably be chatting with CJ or his dad sometime again in the future. This has been a very special youth edition on Fresh Fire. Do remember, Youth in Focus will be back in July of 2000, and we've got lots coming for you. Marisa Elcock signing off. Till next time. Bye-bye.
Back to the Fresh Fire Morning Mix, and on our program today we had two very interesting young people who are in the music field, young people whom God have been using in a very powerful way. One a singer and the other one a musician, where he produces music. God is really using our young people in this time and this season to be a voice in the land, to be a voice in the nation, to impact other young people. He's taking young people to impact young people. And so I'm very encouraged when I see young people who have given their lives to the Lord, who are dedicated to service. And so I hope that the young ones who've looked at the program today, that you've been inspired. Maybe God has given you a talent and you're not using your talent for His honor and for His glory. It's only when you begin to use your talent for God's honor and glory that you're going to get the breakthrough, you're going to see the victory, you're going to be an inspiration to other young people. I'm truly inspired by what I saw today, and I pray that God will use you as an instrument. And you mothers, you fathers looking on today, please encourage your young young people. If you see that they're talented and they've got something, don't put them in the background. Encourage them and pray for them, pray them through. And I know that God, who began a work, he will be faithful to complete it in his due time and his due season.